In today's video, we're going to be doing things a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you guys how to go from 0 to 500k very fast. I'm going to kind of show you guys how I've gone from 0 to 500k, how I built up my coins at the start of the game. Not like a crazy, try-hard, sweaty mood kind of trading, but I'll show you a simple way how I did it. Just have a little patience, a couple hours a day here and there, and you'll have 500k in no time. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get into it. So guys, getting right into it, the first thing you guys want to do, especially because we'll kind of go from the start, because today is launch day. A lot of people got the game today. We saw the market absolutely explode with a lot of supply, meaning a lot of new players got the game today. And what that entails is everybody got their welcome backpacks and they just dumped everything onto the market. So for those of you guys who are just starting off, if you get your welcome backpacks, I highly recommend selling everything. Once you sell everything, you guys will at least start with about 20 to 30k worst case scenario if you pack absolutely crap in all of them. But if you do get some good pulls, maybe you start with a little bit more. It doesn't really matter too much. Now, when you first are starting off in the game, I highly recommend you stay away from investing. Investing is a really great strategy if you have a lot of coins to do it. But if you have 30k, your investments aren't going to go very far because you're only going to have about 5 to 10k max, profit in return. So there's no point in investing. So what we're going to do is a lot of trading and sniping at the start, especially sniping because it's so effective. We're going to be going over 3 methods that I've been doing throughout this. And the first one is just sniping random players that are inflated in price. If you guys watched today's earlier video, we go over sniping filters. But you guys just want to find cards that are a little inflated in price. And again, I'm sorry if you watched earlier's video, but Renan Lodi, he's a card I love for this method because he sits at about 3k. He might actually be a little bit lower now that the market's kind of dipped down quite a bit. So maybe he's like 2.5k, 2.4k. So he's sitting at like 2.2k, 2k we'll say. So what you guys can do is you go about a few hundred lower than what his current price is. And you guys just snipe away. And to snipe, you just simply do this, set the filters up. And again, you guys can watch the sniping filters videos if you want more of these filters. But what you guys can do is just continuously do this, and you guys buy any cards that might be undercut. We'll see if we can grab maybe one here quickly, or at least see one pop up. But most players, when they see an 81 rated, they don't know the price, they list for low. So right here, that one was 1300. We would be able to resell for 2k, and that's 700 coins profit right there. And filters like Renan Lodi, Reece James, and a lot of other ones we talked about in our previous sniping filter videos, they still work, they're still super effective. And it's why I love doing this, because again, that was about 15 seconds of sniping for 700 coins profit. Say that pops up maybe 2-3 times a minute, you win them each time, and then you do this for say 30 minutes, like you guys can make 20-30k very fast doing this. And of course you guys can, as you build your budget up, you can push into bigger players and stuff like that to do like sniping in. But this is what you guys want to do. And as well as sniping players, you can snipe any metas that are a little bit inflated or over their price, or you guys can even do the SBC solutions where you guys go and find like the latest SBCs that come out. It's a little bit later to do this now, but say when Andre Silva came out today, what you guys could do is find the the closest completion solution or whatever, and you guys can go and find a player that is common in them or is in a decent amount of them. Find an SBC player who's inflated up in price. So let's see. So you could look like Raul Jimenez wouldn't be a good one. Mason Mount would be a good one. He's 1.4k on Xbox. You could snipe him for like 1.1k or less, and you can look to kind of just quick sell, instant sell him right away. Same with Tielemans. Even some of these cards when they inflate up. John Stones. Chilwell would be one if he inflated up. So looking for players that are good for SBCs, they inflate up a little bit in price, and you guys would be able to, look to resell right then. All right, so you guys could like continuously do this, I guess, for until you hit 500k. Again, doing it just every day, it works a lot. But you could get bored of it, and I like to switch it up a little bit too. So another method that I like to do was position change trading and chem style trading. Those are 2 different methods. We have complete videos on the channel explaining how to do them, so I'm going to go over them briefly with you guys. But for like chem style trading, for example, you guys can put on a chem style like Shadow or Hunter, these ones that are very expensive, and you simply just would snipe common players like Reece James. And again, I'm sorry, we went over it in the previous video or the last video earlier today. But Reece James, he goes for like 1K on Xbox right now. With a Shadow, he goes for like 4K. So what you can do is set a filter that's much lower than, say, you know, we'll set it at like 3.3K. And you would just look to snipe Reece James, you know, with a Shadow for this cheap. And you'd be surprised, they pop up pretty often. Not many people realize that the Shadows are this expensive early on. And when Shadows and Hunters do end up going extinct when Weekend League starts, like which usually happens every year, this method becomes even better. But you guys can do this with like any card. So for example, right there, Reece James, we missed him, 1.6K though, and that would have sold for like 3.5K. So that's a 2K profit right there, and that is a really good method. I highly recommend it. Of course, you guys can switch the players up. You can really choose anybody. I think we can go like Vardy, for example. And with a card like this and doing this method, I do recommend staying below like 25K, just because it does get a little harder for you guys to kind of make profit off the tax, unless the Hunters and stuff were extinct. But you guys could do the same thing with, say, Jamie Vardy. So for example, with a Hunter, we know he goes for like 14, 13, 13.5. So without that though, we know his price is a bit lower, probably like 2K. So yeah, we know he's about 11K. So what you guys can do is obviously snipe one with a Hunter for, you know, 12K or less, and you know, they'll pop up. You make like a K or two a card. It adds up over time. It's a really, really great method to do, and I highly, highly recommend jumping into that. And it's the same with position change trading as well. Reece James with the right back one was a great example of it. You guys can just do that. It's super easy to do. I highly recommend that as well. So the trading itself is pretty easy. It is a little boring at first, but that's how it is when you first start off, and then you guys can obviously branch off into icons and metas and all that good stuff. But I quickly wanted to talk about coin management, because I feel like that's something that makes or breaks a lot of people from making all their coins and just being stuck around, you know, 100K forever. You guys, I highly recommend you don't do any SBCs at the start of the game unless it's a really, really great player for great value. That is something that a lot of people get caught in. They dump a lot of coins, a lot of tradable stuff from their club into these SBCs for untradeable content that won't be used in a week or two. So for example, Shaqiri, he is terrible value. Even Andre Silva, I'm not a huge fan of. He's not like a guy that's going to get an insane amount of upgrades. And he's an 83 rated team, which, I mean, for 10K, he's actually not terrible. But, you know, for Shaqiri, that wouldn't have really been worth it because he's not a usable card. Taking care of your coins is really good. And the same goes with like buying players for your team. You don't want to constantly be buying and selling players for losses in your club, like just throwing them in your team. You want to obviously be more noticeable of that. And if you are, you know, you're smart with your coins, you save them, you don't waste them on dumb stuff, you don't overspend when doing SBCs. If you do them, you don't do the useless player SBCs, you guys will keep your coins and you'll make them very fast. But these are literally the only 3 methods I have done since the game has come out, and that's how I built up to 500K. I know it says 38K right now, but I have pages of stuff right here. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new. And again, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support lately. It has been unreal. Till next time.